feeling fast, fast, fast. You and last, last, last. Getting gap, gap, gap. Cause we Midwest fast, feeling fast, fast.
Mr. Pulp Fiction himself, as most people know him, Paul Persley.
Ex-Pulp Fiction.
I know. I said most people know him. He's not no more. Sadly, it's gone. What's the story with that?
I was looking for a chassis car. Pulp had gone as fast as it was going to go. It wasn't a power issue. The car was heavy, 3,000 pounds. You know, power seats and locks and everything else. You know, as we saw in the last video, and we had reached the limit of either cut the car up and butcher it and start over and make it not work, or get rid of it while it worked and find somebody who wanted it that way, and start over with new data, something new with the new chassis and new platform. Found a guy on the East Coast who, one of those deals where I called him and said, you know, do you want to make a trade? Are you interested? And he said, what do you have? I said, a foxbody. He goes, every asshole in the world's got a foxbody, and I don't want it.
At least it wasn't black.
Yeah, and then he stalked my Facebook and called me back a little while later, and he goes, hey, is your car Pulp Fiction? And we got to talking, and he knew the car, had been following it for a while, knew it worked real well. And that was on a Wednesday, and he said, if you can have it here by Saturday so I can race it Saturday night, I'll take it. So I loaded it and drove straight through to Virginia, dropped it off, and then picked this one up on the way back, and it was a bare roller, nothing other than a chassis. And we have gone back. The car ought to be pretty close to half the way to Pulp when it's done. We're using an LT this year, but similar platform as far as power adder goes, injection. We've switched over to a LS style injection, got rid of the mechanical injection. And we're going to stick with Holley. It'll be all of the nitrous we can throw at it. Throttle body, glide. Basically the same platform as far as powertrain goes. So we're not starting the powertrain learning process over, and we can just learn chassis. And then we've got a big secret coming for next season. We're working with another sponsor and another power adder platform. If we can get the chassis to work this year, we're gonna do something entirely different next year that most people haven't seen or heard about. And we'll see if we can chase some big names after that.
Sounds very intriguing.
Yeah.
So was Chevy 2 your first choice, or
no,
just kind of found it?
Yeah, I was looking for a 68 to 72. That was my first car, and I found one and got it, and it was pretty rough, a lot of rust, and it hadn't been touched. And then we found this one, and I had a car like this in high school, and never got a chance to drive it. One of those projects that developed and got close, and then I had to get rid of it before I got a chance to drive it, and have never even driven one. But the fastest car in high school in Southern California where I was a Chevy 2 like this. And it ran 980s in the quarter back in the early 90s.
That was the fastest car on the street back then.
That was fast. In fact, he's still got the same car. He's part of the AV boys out in Southern California. His name's Rich, and it's a bad bitch. It was on Street Outlaws, I think season 3 or 4, and it broke a wheelie bar. And
back when they were doing wheelies in Vegas.
Yep. So we had a lot of fun with that car, and he still got it, and I've kind of loved him ever since. So when I got a chance to get it, I jumped at it, and it's a whole lot more race car than we wanted, but we're dialing it back to a lot of street car. It'll have 2 seats, it'll have full grill, headlights, brake lights, turn signals, heater, it'll be as close to a street car, door panels, all that stuff that we can do, and still make it where we can drive it anywhere, just like we could Pulp. We drive Pulp to Dallas, we drive it to Tulsa, we drove it anywhere from here.
You
in
can't
Arkansas.
drive it, can't enjoy it, no
That's
fun.
right. Yeah, this car will be the same way. So no wipers, about the only thing we're not gonna be able to do.
I get you out of some classes every once in a while.
Yeah, right.
It's
Well,
fun.
that's what it's getting to. Is it's anymore any street race, the limitation is steel roof and quarters and a 28-inch tire, which I'm glad everybody's going back to 28s. I've never felt 29 was a big tire or was a small tire. So all of my data is on 28s, but other than that, there are no rules. It's steel roof and quarters and a 28. And when we're driving a street car and competing in small tire events with small tire chassis cars, it just wasn't working.
Yeah.
We won a few. We
You
strung.
gotta adapt.
Yeah, we strung 3 wins together last November before we got rid of it in 1 month, and that was enough to give it some worth to get rid of it, and then we moved on, and we'll see if we can make this one win.
It's funny you mentioned the 68 to 72 because on the way here through Freistadt, there's a couple of them sitting in the shop.
There are, and if you find them, they're great. You just, I probably had 10 of them, and I paid $1,000 for all of them, and now you buy a rusted up pile of shit for
Anymore.
$5,000.
Prices are insane of
Right.
everything.
So, and even this car, we're into this car a whole lot less than we should be, and this car should pay for itself, same as Pulp did. Pulp paid for itself in the first 6 months. So as long as we can string a few wins together, this one should pay for itself. We'll be plus side after that.
I'm sure it'll be out at H-Town.
We'll be at H-Town. We should be testing by next weekend. We're shooting a test this weekend, and we're just not quite there. I'm waiting on a few parts to make it a real car. I'm putting a real grill and stuff in it, so we're still looking for some factory parts to make it a street car. And I just got a few things put together, and then we'll be ready to test it. So we'll have it tested by next weekend for sure.
So hopefully I can make the trip down and get coverage of it.
Yeah, it'd be cool. We can always use it. We've got Nitrous Express is still a sponsor for us. You guys always take good care of us. Redline Oil takes care of us. So we've got some good sponsors that have stuck with us through the change, which is great. Because you never know with a new platform what's going to happen.
Yep.
We think we can make the car work. I do a lot of stuff. We've got this car here that I started tuning about 1.5 years ago from the hip, and we picked it up 6/10, and it's one of the quickest all-motor small block Fords out there, and it's real competitive. It runs a gasser class, and I get a chance to drive it every now and then. We'll be testing it tomorrow. I just finished building a motor for it, made a piston change. We're trying to pick it up, but it's a little over 2 horsepower per cubic inch, so it's pretty rowdy for a motor car.
There ain't no weight there.
Yeah, no, and it's there's some secrets in that car a lot of people don't know about, and
They need to
it's
stay
cool
classified.
unless they know it, they don't know it, and it's kind of fun. So
That's street life.
That's
Just
right.
like going to Jake's, I had to ask some people, hey, is it okay to take engine bay pictures?
Right.
I ain't gonna put it out there.
well, and we always do more with less, so I'm always apt to show anybody. Most people didn't believe that Pulp was what it was, and it made the power that it did, and it did as well as it did, and this car will be the same way. It's on a budget. The motor's mostly stock. It's got completely stock heads. It'll still be basic. I cut my own nitrous plates. So I've got some stuff that I do, but it's still on a budget. We'll run basic stuff. So
It's
Terminator
sad.
X and a
If you're not in
Thunderbird.
the gray area, you aren't trying, basically. I mean,
Right.
you might as well not show up. Sad as it
Yeah.
is.
Well, and I've always had to race on a budget, so I found a way to make a little bit of money go a long way. So once we get some wins down, this is the longest I've been without a car that runs now for 6 years.
It's
So
never fun.
it's been hell, and we have pushed hard.
Well, your daughter was saying the same thing.
Yeah, yeah,
Killing you.
yeah. So we're hoping to be out and tested this week, and out next week's getting some footage, and then I'm refusing to paint it or wrap it. I haven't decided yet until I make sure it's going to go straight without kissing any walls or making any friends with any other cars, and then we've got a color scheme picked out. I think it's going to surprise everybody for what I've had for the rest of my life. So we're going to do something a little different. I think people are going to be surprised, and it
Like
should
Jeff Lutz with yellow.
Yeah, right. Yeah, it should be pretty neat. I think some people are going to like it. It should be a good looking car, and like I said, as long as it looks like a street car, I'll be pretty happy.
Looks don't make it faster.
Oh, that's true.
Just like a bunch of mistakes people make is to put all the money into the power and not do suspension. I mean,
Yep. Yeah.
you can have as much power as you want. You got a hook.
Yeah, we try to find a balance. I've always believed in being down on power and being able to chassis. I would rather be able to throw the house at it and get flat out run, but the car work. Just the way that I've always done things. So
Even just for safety. I mean, you don't want to go out and go left, go right, go.
Well, especially street racing the way that we do, there's no telling what the surface is going to be. You know, we could be on raw chip seal and then go to concrete and dragging the bumper in 15 minutes. So to be able to adapt and know that I can go to a bad surface and get down relatively well is always our go-to, and we keep a lot of data, and we test a lot. We race 48 weekends a year when we got a car running, so we're going to do the same thing with this car, if not more, and try to hit some more races during the week. Maybe even put a couple on for this area. There's not much going on. There's nothing in Arkansas. So we're going to try to put some stuff together and try to do some more midweek stuff. They're great little 6-car, 8-car shootouts.
Heck yeah, it's not that far. I'll come down.
Yeah.
Just give me a heads up.
Yeah, and then this is our shop here. We just moved here. We've been in here about 2 or 3 months, and we're still adapting and getting set up, but it's a lot better location, a lot better building, and we can make better use of the space. So we're gonna start specializing a few things a little bit more, and kind of narrow our scope of work, and spend more time on the road racing. So
that's what's so crazy to see some of these guys go from prep to street to no prep.
Yeah.
Everybody thinks it's so easy, but shoot.
It's not. It especially wasn't with a heavy car. I'm hoping it's not as bad with a light car.
You found that out at our home track in my last video.
Yeah, we had a street tune-up in it, and we decided to try to turn it up a little bit. And that was one of the wildest passes. I saw somebody had a video that made wildest rides of 2023 or something, 2022, whatever it was, 2023.
The video I took?
But that video was highlighted as one of the wildest.
They never tag me or give credit to their place.
Yeah.
Just like Sean's video, a beater bomb blew the internet up, and he gets no credit and gets in trouble on YouTube. And
so
people don't realize this media stuff is crazy.
It's a full-time job, and what you guys do is so invaluable to what we do. It helps us get sponsors. It helps us sell merch. It helps us, anything. Even the kids that come out that know the car, that want to sit in it and ride in it, and I let 10-year-old kids drive it around the pits. I don't care anybody drive it. So
I always have kids start mine up, and just the look on their face is priceless.
It
mine's just a street car. I mean, but it vibrates them in their seat, and it doesn't look like what it is. So.
Yeah, no, it's good.
I'm all about keeping the kids involved.
Right. Well, they're the next generation. My son's 12, and he's already raced on the street in Kansas City. Actually, he tested on the street in Kansas City, but he went, bottom sixes in pole, which is fast for him. Fast enough that I wasn't comfortable with it.
Well, the junior drasher class has made it. I mean, go-karts feel fast at like 30 mile an hour, and those kids are going 90.
Yeah, right.
So, I mean, it ain't like they're not used to it anymore.
Right.
It's crazy.
Right. Well, and he pedaled the car, got out of shape down low, and came back around asking me for the second kit. And
I mean,
I was like, no, kid, you got a long way to go.
It's just nuts, because I'd love to drive one of those things. I mean, it's got to be a thrill.
Yeah, it is.
As a kid, I mean, right on the ground going 90 mile an hour.
Yeah. Yeah. No, well, he racing motocross now, and then he's got a on-road cart that actually the owner of Alcatraz sponsored him for, and he races it sometimes, and we're trying to keep him. He's starting to choose to drive more and more. He played baseball real hard. He's a really, really good baseball player, but he's given it up and decided to chase racing.
Takes a lot of time, for sure.
Yeah, and we're hoping to couple his motocross with our racing schedule, and motocross race on Saturdays during the day, and then go find the street on Saturday night and make some money and support his motocross habit at least.
So that's one of the things I loved about you, is it's all about family, just like me. I mean, my dad, I was born with a wrench in my hand. I mean, it's just what it is. Like, my mom's here with us today. I mean, they met street racing. It's my nieces are getting into it now, and I just love it.
Yeah, there's no way else. You really can't do it to the extent that I do if family's uninvolved. You spend
no happy wife, no happy life, for sure.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Well, and you just end up strangers to everybody. So we go with a whole crew of people, and it's everybody's got their job, and it makes it easy to do what I do, which is just tune and drive. And even Desiree's doing a bunch of tuning now.
That stuff is way over my head.
We'll see what she does with the new platform, but I think she'll catch up pretty quick.
Yeah, my little nieces won't even let me change my own slicks or radials anymore. They got to do it. So
yeah, everybody's got their job.
They love it.
So yeah, we got Alcatraz running. I just built that motor. We got it running yesterday, and Desiree got to back me up out of here, and she was about excited as could be, just getting a chance to back up again. All of us are itching really bad, so it's time.
Winter blues.
Getting ready.
You're south, but you're not that far south.
No. So we'll get it done, and like I said, we just got rid of Pulp on a whim and weren't ready to build another car financially or even time wise. I was really committed deep in the shop, and I let a lot of stuff go on Pulp that I probably wouldn't have had I had the time to make some changes on it. But his deal was he wanted it the way it won his last race, and I'm a man of my word. That's what he got. So
turnkey, have fun.
Yeah, that's right. And he's won with it since he's got it. So we've done.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Especially if you gave any. I mean, you had so many tunes for that probably for different services.
Yeah. He got it all. So it's good. His dad's got a Nova, and him and his dad raced together, and I'm just glad it went to another family that does it together.
That's what makes it the best for sure. So.
Yeah, we had a lot of fun.
Well, you already got your sponsors, so I don't have to really ask about that. So I mean, any shout outs or anything else you need to discuss?
I mean, we've had so many people come together and help us. A friend of mine, Jamie, has helped out, and she's picked up a bunch of the cost of putting the car together, and I've got my sponsors that are sending me parts, and really the whole racing community. I've gone on social media and made a post about needing parts that are tough to find or easy to find and just aren't on the budget right now, and I've got people shipping me parts from the West Coast that I've been fortunate enough to just pay shipping on or whatever. So there's been a lot of people that really stepped up and helped us put it together.
Well, when you do it the right way, you get some blessings. I mean, that's the way it should be.
Yeah, it's been nice, and we try to do the same thing. When we're out racing, we try to help anybody we can, and that helps us a bunch because I get joy out of helping people go fast.
Oh, yeah.
It's not about if I get beat by somebody I help. It's fine with me.
There's always going to be somebody faster.
Right.
I mean, it don't matter who you are.
That's right. There always will be. And the fast guys need to know I'm coming.
Especially when the surface is there. I mean, anybody can beat anybody.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Nope. We hope by the end of next year there shouldn't be anything on the street anywhere in the country that we can't run with, and that's our goal. So we'll see if we can get there or not. But we've already proved that the surface is the equalizer, and we've won against some of the best, and we've lost to some of the most inexperienced there are out there. So we've done both.
Well, you heard it here first. Nationwide call out coming soon.
Oh my God! Get me shot.
Nah, just joking. Just joking.
Yeah.
That's you've done nothing but nice to me since the first day I met you, so I appreciate it. And like I said, I'm just a fellow racer. It just happens I started doing crew with like Menace Camaro Local and Birdman, and I just want to be able to help. Like I said, I can turn a wrench. I'm not the typical media. I'm out there cleaning up the street with H-Town with the broom.
Right. Nope,
I just want to do anything I can do. So
it really is. You're more involved than a lot of guys are, and any of the media that's from Southern Texas up through, gosh, we've been up as far as St. Louis and Kansas City, and as far west as California, and as far east as Mississippi and Georgia, and there's always somebody in that area that takes care of it for us and keeps everybody connected and well known, and it's invaluable to what we do.
That's the way it should be. My media family's family. I want everybody to succeed. I ain't stepping on nobody's toes, and like even when Limpy's live, I'm like, I'm not going live unless you say I can. I mean, I'm not going to step on no toes. So.
Limpy's a legend. I've known Limpy for a lot of years, and he's a god as far as I'm concerned. He's the grandfather that allows us to all do what we do, because without him it wouldn't have ever started.
Oh, there wouldn't have been no Street Outlaws. Kyle with 1320. I mean, those. They're the OGs, and Sean with Urban Hillbilly, which is my buddy and local. I mean, he was around before that. So.
Yep. There's a lot of them that have been doing it, and it's crazy to think how long everybody's been doing it now. I mean, heck, we ran Pulp 6 years, and it felt like it wasn't even close to that until I started looking it up, and we were 4,000 plus runs on that car by the time we got rid of it. And you start looking at data for that kind of time, and to think of even starting over is just daunting, and that's why I went with the same power platform. I feel like I'll chase my ass for 2 years starting over again. Chevy 2's
got to be pretty similar-ish. The weight's going to be off for sure, but
the wheelbase is similar. The weight's way different, and this car it should be really light. So we'll be able to make use of the power a little bit more, put some weight where we want it. But obviously the goal is not to have any weight in it at all. So being a 4-link car, it should a lot of our measurements and our instant center and stuff that we use from Pulp should we're hoping they'll roll over to this car and give us a good head start, but we'll see. I mean, you never know till they go to the break.
Yep.
So that's where we're at. We'll be ready to go. Give us a week or so, and we'll have some more video out there and see what we can do.
Heck yeah, well, definitely appreciate you having me come down. And
all right, appreciate it.
See you soon.
All right, we'll see you next time.
Hope everybody has a good one.
All right.
Getting gap, cause we Midwest fast. Cutlass gon' quick. Hit the nos and dip out making these hits. And that's a green S10.